What are you doing, Juk?
Watching birds. They fly so fast like a jet.
So do you know what a jet is?
Does it mean very fast?
That is a metaphor. Do you know the term jet stream at all?
What is it?
A jet stream is a fast-flowing narrow air current which moves in the tropopause, the transition between the troposphere and the stratosphere from west to east following the Earth's rotation. A jet stream path normally has a meandering shape, flowing from high latitudes to lower latitudes or vice versa. It moves with great speed and is several kilometers long. Normally, it can be found 10 to 15 kilometers above the ground. Jet streams can be classified into two major groups, which are 1. Polar jet and 2. Subtropical jet. Jet streams normally flow along the boundaries between warm and cold air mass and have a significant difference in the winter. It can be formed in both the northern and southern hemispheres. The strongest wind flow can be found in the core of a jet stream. Usually, velocity and position of the jet stream vary daily.
I wonder if a plane will hit some air pockets today.
Uncle Bandit, if so, what would happen to the plane? Besides, how will you know there will be some air pockets?
Judging from the clouds up there, they look so agitated. There will be turbulence.
What is turbulence?
Turbulence is caused by rapid irregular motion of air, which can cause an aircraft to bump or jolt rapidly, known in easy terms as hit an air pocket. All kinds of clouds formed in the sky can be used as warning sign for level of intensity of turbulence. We can classify the intensity of turbulence as follows. Light means turbulence which requires passengers to fasten seatbelts while luggage still remains in place. Moderate means turbulence which requires passengers to fasten seatbelts. They might be tossed up occasionally while luggage may move about. Severe means turbulence which makes the pilot temporarily unable to control an aircraft. Seat-belted passengers are tossed up and down violently, and luggage is lifted up in the air. Extreme conditions of turbulence are rare, but possible. Under such conditions, an aircraft is tossed about so violently that a pilot is unable to control it. This can cause damages to the aircraft.
What's the matter with you, Mali?
I'm cold. It seems that the weather is starting to get colder.
I think so. Winter season is coming now.
Why is the weather sometimes hot and sometimes cold?
Well, let me explain about our temperature. First,
Air temperature is a measurement of heat content of the air measured by an equipment called a thermometer, normally fitted in a place through which air flows naturally and well covered away from direct sunlight. The temperature tends to change at different times during the day, due mainly to the Earth's rotation, leading to different angles where sunlight hits the Earth's surface. At midday, the sun is at its highest position above the horizon, causing its rays to hit the Earth's surface at right angles with high intensity. During the morning and afternoon, the sun is on the side of the Earth, with its rays hitting at bevel angle, covering wider areas, hence with lesser intensity. Additionally, at midday, the light travels through the atmosphere at the shortest distance, while during the morning and afternoon it travels at a further distance, causing it to lose the intensity of heat, hence leading to a reduction in temperature.
Uncle Bandit, what is minimum temperature?
Is the lowest temperature being observed within 24 hours.
How about the minimum temperature of glass? Is it observed in the same way as air temperature?
Is it your homework that makes you ask me all of these questions?
You always see through these tricks, Uncle Bandit. You're so clever.
No need to flatter me, dear. Just sit down and I will explain it to you anyway.
Minimum grass temperature is the lowest temperature recorded from the tip of a short turf within 24 hours. The minimum grass temperature can be observed by the minimum grass thermometer placed horizontally in contact with the tip of the grass approximately 2 inches above the ground. During nighttime, the ground, trees, and grass will quickly release its retained heat, especially in the winter. Occasionally on high mountains, the minimum grass temperature could drop to the freezing point, resulting in a formation of frost or thin sheet of ice covering leaves and grass.
Uncle Bandit,
Yes?
if it's higher, colder, and then deeper, would it be cooler as well?
I don't understand your question.
I wonder if deep sea water is cooler than shallow sea water.
If you ask me correctly like this, it would have been easier.
Sea temperature is recorded temperature at various sea depths. Sea temperature depends on the sun's radiation rather than heat from the Earth's core. Variation of sea temperature can be found both horizontally, from the equator to the poles, and vertically, from the sea surface to the sea bed. Horizontally, the average sea temperature at the equator is approximately 26 degrees Celsius, while at the pole, 2 degrees Celsius. Vertically, in warm weather zones, the temperature will drop drastically. From the sea surface to the depth of 1,080 meters, the temperature is approximately 4 degrees Celsius, and from 1,080 to 1,800 meters, the temperature would drop further. However, beyond this depth, the temperature remains almost unchanged at 2 degrees Celsius. The temperature at the polar seabed also remains at 2 degrees Celsius.
Juk, why are you putting your hands above the water and in the water like that?
I'm wondering whether the temperature of the seawater on the surface and the sea is different at all.
Get up then, I explain to you. Soaking yourself up won't tell you anything.
Sea surface temperatures are normally high near the equator and getting colder in areas nearer to the poles. Sea surface temperatures can change following the changes of seasons, due mainly to the intensity of sunlight shown on its surface. Seawater is transparent, allowing sunlight to reach several meters under the surface, leading to a difference in temperature at different sea depths. The deeper the sea level, the colder the temperature is, and the coldest is where sunlight cannot reach. At the equator, sea surface temperature and air temperature alter minimally between seasons, while at the poles, changes in sea temperature is hardly noticeable due to polar ice all year round. However, in high latitude places, such as Europe, the difference in sea surface temperature is at its peak between February and August.
Uncle Bandit, the weather today is hot, isn't it?
Well, it is in the hot scale.
Why do you say hot scale rather than hot weather? Also, which month does summer start? And what temperature is in the hot scale? And
Easy, Juk. No one is interrupting you. Now let me tell you.
In Thailand, summer normally begins roughly in mid-February and lasts until mid-May. The weather during this time is generally hot. April, however, is the month with the highest temperature. In meteorological terms, the hot scale is determined by the highest temperature recorded on a given day. It is categorized into hot means weather with temperature between 35 to 39 degrees Celsius. Very hot means weather with temperature from 40 degrees Celsius onwards. The north and northeast regions of Thailand in particular are faced with very hot weather, which leads to drought or shortage of water for both consumption and general use.
cold, very cold. Uncle Bandit, why is today so cold?
Because it is in the cold scale, dear.
What is the cold scale?
You're as curious as Juk. Well, they say curious kids are clever kids, right?
Absolutely. But Uncle Bandit, you're not curious. How come you're much cleverer than me?
So, do you want to know about the cold scale or why I'm much cleverer?
Let's start with the cold scale, I think.
In Thailand, cold season begins roughly in mid-October and lasts until mid-February. The weather during this time is generally cold. In meteorological terms, the cold scale refers to the lowest temperature recorded on a given day. and is used only during winter or cold season. It is categorized into 1. Cool means weather with temperature between 16 to 22.9 degrees Celsius. 2. Cold means weather with temperature between 8 to 15.9 degrees Celsius. 3. Very cold means weather with temperature below 7.9 degrees Celsius. The hill or mountain tops are areas generally with cold to very cold weather.
Hot. Why is so hot like this?
If you were bored and complaining about the heat, it would have been a heat wave. But there is no heat wave in Thailand. You must have been running around to get this hot.
What is the heat wave, Uncle?
It is a wave that is not cold. Patso. The heat wave normally forms in desert areas. Come and let me tell you.
The heat wave refers to a period of time when the temperature rises abnormally and lasts at least one day. However, when the heat wave hits a particular area, local temperature would be abnormally high for days or weeks. In the United States of America, the heat wave refers to a spell of 3 days or more on each of which the maximum temperature reaches or exceeds 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. In other countries, including Thailand, determining the temperature and time period of the heat wave depends on normal local conditions. Heat waves occur in areas where hot air current from the desert zone flows across regions such as North America, the Mediterranean, Europe, and India. The heat wave brings about abnormal rise in temperature, unfamiliar for people accustomed to the cold weather.
What's wrong with you, Juke? Are you sick?
So cold. Why is today so cold?
You are overreacting. The weather is just cool, not like in France, which is cold because of the cold wave.
What is the cold wave, Uncle?
The cold wave is caused by a strong movement of cold air mass in the middle latitude zone. It brings about weather variance, gusty winds, and a sudden fall of temperature over a vast area. Snowstorms are also possible. In the United States of America, the term cold wave refers to a drop of temperature by at least 11 degrees Celsius within 24 hours. In some countries, the cold wave can cause damage to life and property, especially in agriculture and wildlife. Excessive and persistent blankets of snow and ice could damage farms and cause death to animals. Sometimes when the cold wave spreads over the entire area, aviation is badly affected as snow prevents an aircraft from landing.
ท้องร่อง
What are you murmuring about, Mali? Lots of wrongs.
My teacher asked me to get the meaning of the word ร่อง Uncle Bandit. What does ร่องมรสุม mean? And what is the English word for it?
Let me explain.
Wrong monsoon or monsoon trough in English is the location where trade winds in the tropical zones of the two hemispheres meet. The convergence of winds causes rainfall in the area. Normally, the course of the monsoon trough is from west to east. The location of the monsoon trough changes in accordance with the sun's movement. For example, when the sun orbits towards the north, the monsoon trough moves accordingly. The monsoon influences the occurrence of rainfall as it causes an uplift of local air mass, which turns into rain clouds. The monsoon trough area is therefore cloudy with rain. In Thailand, the local monsoon trough is caused by the meeting of southeasterly and northeasterly winds, resulting in rainfall over a vast area. Narrow monsoon trough induces thunderstorms, while prolonged monsoon trough means prolonged rain occurrence, which can lead to flooding.